Average Pat's Movie Reviews.
Hi everyone, Average Pat here to sit to chat today about the movie I Am Mother. This movie was released at the Sundance Film Festival last year, I believe the 24th or 25th of January of 2019, but has been available to view on Netflix. I do not remember seeing this in any other theaters. I know it was released internationally at some movie theaters, but I don't believe in the States it was. The director is Grant Sputore, and the cinematographer is Steve Annis, A-N-N-I-S. The movie is basically very similar to the movie Moon in some aspects. The main character is interacting with a robot provided by a main person, a famous voice. In this aspect, the role of daughter, who's played by multiple people throughout the ages. As an infant, it's Maddie Lenton, and Summer Lenton is her older sister. She plays as a toddler. And then as a grown-up daughter is Clara Rugard. She interacts with a robot called Mother who's raised her from an embryo. This robot's voice is provided by Rose Byrne. What the premise of the movie is that the robot is supposed to be nurturing the regrowth of humanity after some event. No event's ever specified, no one's ever explained what happened, and why there's literally just one robot in this massive underground, well-maintained bunker who has access to untold amounts of embryos to bring about humanity's regrowth. What we know is that there's one role, there's daughter. As daughter gets older, she keeps asking Mother, why am I the only one? Why am I the only person here? And Mother's response is, well, all mothers need to practice before they get everything perfect. Kind of a haunting line, but you kind of buy it. Overall, the storyline is very similar to, other movies that are apocalyptical, growth and trying to understand life as what it used to be. There's old video clips of Johnny Carson, some, famous people that were on there that entertain the daughter as she grows up. So she's raised on basically the idea that she is literally the last human alive. That Mother is her surrogate who's raising her since she's been a baby and is in charge of eventually bringing back the human race. All that changes one day when she's walking back in a different area and hears a noise from the outside and finds a person who's been wounded, a woman who's never identified by a name, but the woman is played by Hillary Swank. Obviously, this changes the entire aspect of anything she thought she knew, and leads to Mother trying to suppress what possibly could be or what actually is. We're not really sure as of any point. They do clarify later, but obviously I'm not going to spoil it. I mean, I don't spoil. The idea behind it is everything she's been taught. Is it true or is it a lie? Is it really going on out there? What really happened to humanity? Is humanity still there? Is she a weird science experiment gone wrong? Is Mother lying to her? Is Mother telling the truth? And the struggle internally of daughter, portrayed by Clara Rugard, again, is incredibly well. For the short amount of time that the moral and the emotional conflict is there, you can see it clearly on her face and in her expressions, in the way she handles herself, in the way she interacts with Mother after meeting Woman. It's very interesting to see a nice different twist on the typical, it's the end of the world, it's the capital, and somebody has to volunteer, or it's Jupiter rising, or it's something along those lines where it's a typical stereotypical sci-fi movie. This throws a nice curveball at everything. Overall on IMDb, the rating is given to it has been a 6.1 out of 10. Which is fair, not spectacular. I would give it a little bit higher than that. If I'm going to rate it on my scale of 1 to 5, I would easily give it at least a 3.5. There's not very much score to be proud of or impressed with. There is music in the background. There is entertaining, soundtracks of old music that daughter hears as she grows up. But nothing really worth writing home about. The cinematography, however, by Steve Annis is impressive because inside what they're built to work with is inside this bunker. Lots of dark alleys, dark corners, neon lights. A couple instances the power goes out and it's one flashlight lighting up the hallway, and seeing how eerie it can be inside a place along those lines with just one light instead of the whole hallway lit up. He did very good job of, exposing the viewer to what daughter was going through when the lights were out and how nervous she was and how scared she was. And it was interesting to see. When the power went out, mother was unable to arise from her battery charging. So the daughter had to learn out, figure out how to do stuff on her own for once, which was an interesting twist that you didn't expect. Again, overall 3.5 for this movie. It's a good movie, very well acted. It's difficult because there's literally one person for 90% of the movie, then two people with Rose Byrne's voice. The twist at the end is worth it. It's very good. It keeps you on your toes. The idea behind it of not quite typical end of the world movie is appreciated. I definitely appreciated having something besides the generic, oh, it's the end of the world and everything's gone to hell. This was a nice little twist on that. I was impressed. If you do like that, there's plenty of movies along the lines of Netflix that are willing to watch. I'm going to be splurging on quite a few more instead of relying on movie theaters due to the recent activity of the coronavirus and COVID. We're kind of being told our county's being shut down by the governor, even though the movie theaters I go to are in Bucks County. It's probably safer not to go out too much in public unless you need to. So I'll be doing a lot more reviews of Prime videos, exclusive to Prime and Netflix for the time being, and I hope that's good enough. If you like this review or any of my reviews, please remember to like them on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube page, click that little notification bell. That way you're always notified whenever I do make a new posting. And keep me posted with what you want me to see, what you want me to review. If you want to hear my opinions on different movies, or if you want to suggest one for me to review, give me a heads up. Let me know. I'm always looking for new ones. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.